we all check the weather, right? But have you ever really stopped to think about how that forecast gets to you? I'm not talking about the big satellites or the global models, but that last critical step, how a local warning is communicated in a way that actually makes people sit up and listen. Today, we're going to deconstruct a fascinating real-world example to see exactly how it's done.
And that's really the core challenge, isn't it? When you've got a time-sensitive warning that could affect thousands of people, how do you make sure it cuts through all the noise? See, it's not just about having the right data. It's about finding the absolute perfect words and getting people to act on them, and act on them fast.
So, to figure this out, we're diving into a short video update from a YouTube channel called Masrainman Studio, which focuses on weather in India. Now, this isn't some giant media corporation. It's a local voice, providing absolutely critical information. And by looking at how they do it, we can actually uncover a masterclass in communication.
Okay, so here's the thing. Our source material isn't a full, polished script. It's just a few key fragments, little pieces from the video. But honestly, that's all we need. By looking at these pieces like a puzzle, we can actually reverse engineer a surprisingly powerful and really effective communication strategy.
All right, so where does any good forecast even begin? Well, you've got to define the scope, right? You have to establish exactly who this weather update is for. Let's take a look.
The forecast starts off broad. It immediately calls out three major states: Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, and Chhattisgarh. You can think of this as the first filter. It casts this wide net, grabbing the attention of millions and basically saying, hey, pay attention, this update might be about you.
And then, and this is where the strategy gets really smart, after naming those big states, the forecast immediately zooms right in on specific cities: Hyderabad, Pune, Mumbai, and several others. This is such a critical move. It pivots from being a general forecast to a very personal alert, telling specific communities, listen up, this is for you.
Okay, so we know where the alert is for, but what's the actual warning? Let's move on to the most critical piece of information in this entire update.
And this might be the most efficient communication trick of them all. The main warning isn't buried 10 minutes deep in the video, it's right there in the title: heavy rains pour down. Before you even click play, you've already gotten the single most important piece of information. It's brilliant.
The entire warning really hinges on this one single term, kanamazi, which simply translates to heavy rainfall. Just think about that for a second. There's no complicated meteorological jargon, no confusing charts or graphs. The whole system is built around one powerful, easily understood phrase that everyone in that community recognizes in an instant.
But look, delivering accurate data is only half the battle. To be truly effective, you need people to trust you, to keep coming back. And this is where the host's direct engagement with their audience becomes so important.
Even with just these few fragments of text, a really clear community-building formula pops out. It's a simple 4-step process: a warm greeting, a direct ask to subscribe, a suggestion to share the info with others, and then a friendly farewell. Now, this sequence might seem basic, but its effect is profound. It completely transforms what could be a cold, impersonal data report into a trusted, personal connection.
So, after pulling all of these different pieces apart, what's the big takeaway here? What's the secret sauce to this forecast's effectiveness?
It all boils down to this really unique blend. On one hand, you have this hyper-efficient, urgent warning, all packed into a single word, kanamajai. And on the other hand, you have this warm, personal style that builds a real community. It's this fusion of clarity and connection that ensures the message isn't just received, but is actually trusted and shared, which, for public safety information, is absolutely everything.
And all of this brings us to a bigger, and I think more important question. In an age of global satellite data and massive, automated weather models, what is the irreplaceable role of a local human voice like the one behind Masrainman Studio? What can a person provide that an algorithm just can't? Thanks so much for joining this explainer.